This is Dabu7, and it looks like the action has already started in D.C. when it comes to protesters taking to the streets. This is right about the time that we knew many would be coming into town, gathering, going through training, and starting their first phases of taking to the streets. Some of these groups, different names, but under the same banner. Some of it the same old when it comes to paid protesters and things of that nature. There is independent groups up here as well, and total hundreds of thousands of protesters expected on Inauguration Day. Now, as you can see here, it looks like a Trump head effigy being burned, and the laws up here basically state that you have to have a permit to do things like this, and of course, a lot of that is going to go by the wayside when it comes to these groups because they're going to go down here and target checkpoints. They're looking to shut down traffic. I mean, you name it. They're looking to launch from multiple places and cause chaos, and they're looking to start this rather early. Now, for those that missed it, I put out a video showing and exposing the corruption behind one of the pages that is fronting like they're a part of the bikers that are going to be up here, but they're not. And the real guy that's going to be up here has stated, or Chris Cox has stated, that they will make a human chain between the protesters and the people on the ground if need be to protect them. And this is interesting because with all these protesters, you can guarantee there's going to be interaction at some spots. So, there's going to be obviously a lot of attention on Trump on this day, but there's going to be almost 2 million people in this area packed into this vicinity from the Capitol to the terminal, Union Station, over to the White House and back down to Lincoln Memorial and all across the National Mall. So it looks like they're already taking to the streets. I want to remind folks, the 19th and 20th, right here, Dabu77, you can find all kinds of action and live stream footage from the streets of D.C. And for those going up here, here's another look at the map, and you can see where the metro stations are sitting and also the outline of this area where no vehicles will be able to enter. You can also see here, this is the non-ticketed areas right here. All this and through here is broke down in other charts showing yellow, red, blue, silver, green, the different ticketed areas. And to get into these areas, you have to specifically go through a gated area and walk down a path, then go through a screening area just to get into the ticketed area. You're not allowed to have selfie sticks, pretty much nothing. It's for your phone and one battery. And those are going to be very tight quarters in all those areas. People packed all through here. This is the parade route going up Pennsylvania Avenue. It is going to be about an hour and a half long. And this is an area where I think the bikers, Chris Cox had said that they have a permit to get X amount of bikes into, or they're working on the permit to get X amount of bikes into the parade, and it would be like a first. But with these individuals, these protesters, talking about doing all this stuff, it's raised some concerns, obviously, as to what's really going to happen up here. Now, I'm going to say this. In the open right now, there seems to be a war going back and forth here between this Project Veritas, who claim they had an undercover guy inside and that they exposed their plans to use gas at the deplorable on these individuals, set off the sprinkler system, and all this other crazy stuff. They countered, and this is all in the wide open on Twitter. They're saying that they knew these guys were plants and they fed them false information. But regardless, this information's out in the open. He responded, "Thanks for the teaser, but 2 p.m. will be too late for your meeting because Disrupt J20's planning on meeting at 2 p.m. at a rally point after the parade." But he's saying it's not going to go as planned. These two groups clashing, and this is in the wide open. Okay, this isn't anything that's secret or under wraps at this point because the cat's out of the bag, and this is being shared and tweeted by thousands on Twitter, and they're going back and forth here with their dispute. So, will they gas or do any of this other stuff to the deplorable? I doubt it. Are they going to be there in force, in mass protesting in large numbers? Yes, they will be. They're already up there in large numbers. But there's going to be different groups representing different things, and at some point, these groups are going to cross paths. So it's going to be very interesting as things are just now starting to kick up in regards to this. We're going to have guys all over the place live streaming from many different angles. Make sure to stay tuned right here, Dabu77, the 19th and 20th. I'm going to be live streaming somewhere around these events, getting the action. Anything's popping off, I'm going to be live streaming it. And if we cannot live stream, I'm going to get hard footage and kick out small clips, 1 to 2 minutes long, showing you guys what's going on. It's the only other way around it. With so many people up here on the 20th, and with it potentially raining, 90% chance, it's going to be interesting to see how all these things shape up. But some of these groups have big plans to wreak havoc and to literally cause chaos. There's other channels out there talking assassination and all this other stuff, attempts on Trump and all this pushing. I tell you what, we're going to be front and center. Anything goes down, we're going to catch anything right there on film. But I'm not believing in half this crap that's being pushed out here about certain things going down because there's no proof behind it. It's the same old guys that are always doing this stuff, hyping stuff up. And I do not doubt that some crazy stuff will happen up here, clashes and things of that nature. That is pretty much a given to happen. But when you have that, certain individuals use that as a backdrop for their own clickbait and narrative, so to speak. And sometimes some of these other channels have been involved in staging events, not just like effigy burning, but flag burning. We've seen it firsthand. So they've put a lot of time and money. They're bussing people in up here. This place is going to be packed. There's going to be different groups, good groups up here, bad groups, people with good intentions, bad intentions. Some people knowing what's really going on, other people uneducated. Some out here thinking they're fighting the good fight, but not. Others truly are. We hope to see a little bit of everybody up here, and it's really going to be sporadic. I mean, with weather, with so many people, with events, it will definitely be very interesting to see how this whole thing's going to shape up. But that's some of the latest information here in regards to this. Also, on the 18th, they're planning this gay dance party, as they're putting it here, in front of Pence's house. And then they're saying they're going to sabotage the inauguration. And what's being said here is they're going to head out 6 a.m. They're going to shut down roadways, terminals. So they stop the flow of people trying to get into the inauguration. You see, trying to disrupt it. Then they're going to launch and merge with other groups, which they're not supposed to. These permitted groups got permitted for X amount of people. The other groups that didn't, and the reason they say they didn't is because it would have been too many people in one area at one time. And what they're going to do is say the hell with that, and they're going to converge together anyway. And I'm telling you, their whole purpose is chaos. They said they're going to intersect Secret Service pockets. They're going to hassle them. They're going to try to block the ticketing area so people can't get in. And it's, in my opinion, they're really going to cause a ruckus up here. And we look, once again, to have eyes and ears all the way around the National Mall, White House, Union Terminal, the best we can. So make sure to subscribe to everybody's channel. It's the best thing I can say to do. Click on the gear box next to where it says subscribe. For those of you that have never done it, this is how you really subscribe. You click on it and then click that you want email notifications every time we put out a video. Then maybe you'll receive notifications every time we go live. And you don't have to sit there and kind of watch all the channels. You can just wait for a notification to go off there in the email. Hopefully they go through and you'll know who's live. There's going to be guys getting footage from different angles. And like I said, it's going to be rather interesting, especially knowing that they're in the open saying they're going to sabotage stuff. And how much of this is all BS is one thing, and people pushing things for their own agendas, that's one thing. But I can guarantee you, from my experience being in the streets, seeing these groups, seeing what's happening now, how many people are mounting up, what's already happening in the streets, it's going to get heated up through the inauguration. But luckily, we'll have a whole squad on the ground to catch any action. So shout outs to everybody out there fighting the good fight. I will leave links in the description box, and hopefully also over on Underground World News. If Casey can keep up with all the streams and watching everyone's back, I want to see if he can embed my live streams on Underground World News Live. That way, if you guys are over there at the website, anything I'm live on, no matter what it is, will be streaming over there. So, and there's a whole list of everyone else's channels there as well. So, till next time, it's been Dabu7. Peace, y'all.